I know you must have heard so many sweet story, so many sweet accounts about oil palm farming being one of the ways by which you can make so cool money for yourself. You can build generational wealth. You can have access to so many other products, and it can be a kind of retirement plan for people. Yes, all that is true, and I am not here to debunk any of all those beautiful things you must have heard about oil palm farming. Oil palm farming uh, is a particular crop that has made countries uh, to stand on their own. So not to talk of it being helpful to individuals. Oil palm farming is lucrative, it's profitable, and it's a way by which you can build wealth. But in all of this, on social media, whenever you are seeing people advertising oil palm, they forget to hide the ugly part of it. I don't know the word to use. Not really ugly, the other side of it, because you cannot just come out with something that is very blooming, that is very beautiful. There is a work beneath. And on today's episode, I just want to let you know those things people will not tell you in oil palm farming that are there waiting for you. You have to conquer them before you can make the cool money we are all talking about in oil palm farming. Yes, one thing you must know, the first thing you must bear at the back of your mind is that oil palm farming is not a quick spin. If you are looking for quick money and all what you have, you want to invest, and within the next 1 year, 2 years, you want to start making money for yourself, I will advise you not to go the route of oil palm farming, because oil palm farming is not a quick spin. If you cannot wait for at least 5 years before you can see some reasonable, you can start seeing some reasonable return on your investment, I will advise you to look another route. Maybe you go into storage, you go into trading, you go into fast crop, or so many other things like that. Because if you are investing in oil palm, the number one thing you have to know is that uh, you have to invest your money, establish your farm, and before you take your eye to see your first harvest is after 3 years. Let's say 3 years. And that harvest, at that point, they are just starting to fruit. That harvest, you will not make so much money from it. The bunches will be small, and you have to extract a little amount of oil at that time. It will be around 5 6 years when they will be stable in production. So if you have a money, or you borrow a loan and you have to repay in 1 year, you have to look elsewhere. Oil palm is not for you. You have to bear this at the back of your mind. Another thing is that oil palm is a capital intensive venture. Now, the reason I say it's a capital intensive venture is because I don't mean to discourage anyone from going into it. Yes. But one thing you must know is that you need a large expanse of land to start with. If you want to do it as a business, what I usually advise people, if you don't have 10 acres, I don't think you are doing business. You just want to, maybe you want to play around and do some petty stuff. Because if you have less than 10 acres, you will not be able to establish a mill for yourself. Do you get it? And if you are not able to establish a mill for yourself, there's no way you can make money from oil palm farming. And if you establish a mill on a plantation that is less than 500 trees, that is less than 10 acres, that mill will not be running at the optimum level. So you'll be losing money on that mill. It will not be. I hope you understand what I'm just talking about. So it's capital intensive. The money you use to buy land is there. You need money for the seedling. A seedling is now 2,500 naira around that place, and you need money to be taking care of the farm while they are not producing for about 3 4 years. You just have to be taking care of it. You even the following year you do your planting, you do replacement, you do fertilizer application, you do weeding, you do all sorts of things. You just need to be spending money for like 3 years without any return. So if you are okay spending money for like 3, 4, 5 years without expecting return. Then you can go into oil palm farming. Another thing you need to know is that it's one of the hardest venture. I don't mean to say hardest, as in it's a real work. Like I said it, like I wrote it on the board. It's a real work. If you are not ready for the real work, because now I will put an analogy with you. For somebody who is doing cocoa, for example, if you establish a cocoa plantation, for example, all what you need to do is to wait for 2 years, you start harvesting, and after harvesting, you can sell and you make your money. You repeat the process next year. The case is not with oil palm. The case is not with oil palm. You have to go through the stress of managing your farm till they produce very well. When they produce very well, you are just you are just done with the first half. The second half is how to turn those bunches into products, to palm oil, to palm kernel oil, to palm kernel cake, and to turn the palm kernel shell into briquette, charcoal cubes if you want to do that. So you, apart from being a farmer, you must be ready to also be an industrialist. You manage a farm and you manage a processing plant. So that is why I say it's a real work. And let me tell you this, lastly but not the least on the list, is that if you don't have that zeal to become an industrialist, I don't think anybody who is not passionate being an industrialist should go into oil palm farming. Because oil palm farming is not where you just harvest, you take it to market, you take the bunches to market, you take your maize or your plantain to market, you take your cocoa to the exporter, you sell. You have to look after the processing. You have to process it. And that processing is like 50% of the work. You are done with the farming, you produce very well, then you face another 50%. So I just want to put this out there for so many of us who wants to go into oil palm farming. Because if you know all this and you are prepared for it, the journey will be more easier and a better one for you. I wish you success. I wish you resounding success on your oil palm farming journey. You want to start this year. And I want to hear your success story. Thank you for your time and see you on the next one. Sheshe.